Hello everyone, it's DA here. Well, I was able to figure out a unique look in the game that made Banshee Prime look like a shrimp. So I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna get out here and show you guys how to do it and what it looks like, which is the final product. So this is what I'm calling the Lotus shrimp. So join me if you want to, or you can also write it down, or if you remember or you will remember what it looks like in the game, you can do that as well. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. I'm using the Vectis Prime as a primary. I'm also using the Euphona Prime, and of course Helios and Deconstructor. So let us get on and get into the style and the design. So the first thing we want to look at, of course, is the Banshee appearance. And as far as primary is concerned, I went on into the Gamma palette and I picked that center one at the very bottom, which is pretty much row 18 and I think center column 3. Secondary, I left it by itself, so we're just gonna go into tertiary, which I used the Lotus palette, and I picked that one right there. So that should do the work for you. With the accent tone, which is pretty much for the gold trims and the gold color, I went on to the Storm palette and I picked those. And also remember to always right click to make some of those colors your favorite. And with the energy color, I went back to the Lotus palette, which once again I selected that, and this is why it is the Lotus shrimp look. And for attachment, I went on and selected the pretty much the Cyandana that came with Necros Prime, which is the Urus Prime Cyandana, and I pretty much followed the same doctrine of using the Lotus palette for the energy color, the accent tone using the Storm palette and selecting that one. I used the same thing, of course, in tertiary color, and of course in secondary I used the Gamma palette, and in primary I also used the Gamma palette for the primary, and as you can see right here. So that is pretty much, I've pretty much followed the same design and coloring principle for the Warframe and the Cyandana, and of course I'm using the Necros Noble animation. For the Vectis Prime, it is a little bit different, but it still also follows the same principle as well. So as you can look at it, let's go into this right here. In the primary section, secondary and tertiary, I pretty much followed the Gamma palette and the same principle and the accents with the Storm, and of course energy color, I selected the Lotus palette. Euphona Prime is a little bit much easier. As you can see, follow the same principle, pretty much make them match using the Lotus palette for that one, and selecting this one right here, and I will use the Storm palette for this one right here. I left the tertiary color because I like the way it looked. In the secondary color, I used the Gamma palette and I used the bottom right, and of course the Gamma palette again for the primary in the bottom left. Well, that will be it for that customization. If you have any suggestion or you have anything that looks nice, let me know. You can, pretty much comment in the comment section and link me to your video so I can see it and see what you have on there, and maybe something that I might also be able to use in the game. Well, that will be it for today's video. That will be it pretty much for the end of the day as far as Warframe is concerned, unless we have another Warframe news that comes in today. Well, this is DABD signing out, and I'll see you in the next one.